Hello, welcome to the Tell Me More podcast. Stacey and Monty here with you today. Mel, who usually does this, is unwell. This is a podcast we do where we get somebody on who we want to hear more from.
Never take a sick day in radio or podcast world.
Podcast world as well.
Yeah.
Do they say that?
Well, it's watch your back, Mel.
Oh my God, yeah, you're going to replace Mel.
Get well.
This is Jase from Jase and PJ on Kiss FM.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
So you do the Brekkie show?
Yeah.
And then on Kiss FM in Melbourne, and then it goes around the country at night time. Is that right?
Yeah, so we do 6 till 9, breakfast time in Melbourne, and then, they package it up and then replay it at night just to squeeze that last little bit of life out of us.
Yeah, great.
It's a good show though, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, Stacey loves it.
Love it.
Like, legitimately loves it.
This is a silly thing to say probably, but I'm not a radio person, considering my best mate is.
Yep.
So it takes a lot for me to listen to a show because I just want music. But I listen to you guys.
It's funny you say that because Paige and I love breaking the radio norm. So what will... I love the phrase turn you on comedically and stuff, and what gets you excited creatively is doing the opposite of what we'd normally do as a radio show. So like when we come up with an idea or something, we're like, okay, what will other shows do? What would we normally do in radio? Let's not do that.
Yeah, right. Give us an example.
And try and avoid that.
Right.
There was a typical... we did something today where it was like there were some stats out about 50% of your friends don't actually like you for who you are. They might be there for convenience.
It's so depressing.
Yeah.
It's so true though.
And we were like, yeah.
It?
And originally we were like, okay, well, do we... there's great phone topics in it. Like, what did you use a friend for? What did they... And then we started thinking, because we're a really tight group. There's like a team of 11 of us, and we all go out. And
Have you got 11 on your team?
Yeah, something like that.
Do you know how many I've got on
11?
the 3 p.m. pickup?
2.
1.
Yeah, but one's pretty high paid. So we've divided that cash evenly, and we've got 11.
I did not know you were that resource. Now I'm pissed off.
So
Anyway, keep going.
this is going well. You watch, I'll come in tomorrow and they'll go, we've had to let a couple of your team go. And like everyone knows each other's partners and stuff like that. So we were talking about this subject this morning, and then I was like, I wonder who out of the team are really good friends. So we made everyone write down my name or PJ's name on a piece of paper today of who they think is more a genuine friend.
Wow.
And then we went through it on the air.
Did you?
And who was it?
PJ won by 1 vote.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So I've kept the bits of paper and I'm going to go around and match the
test the
handwriting.
handwriting.
Yeah. I bet that would have been hard for them, because that is one thing, because I do my come in after you guys have finished. And I often say to my producer, Mel, I do the 3 p.m. pickup with Beck and Yumi, that I have never seen a team that genuinely likes each other more or who works harder.
Everyone's always shocked by that, hey, which is sad.
It is so
It is
sad.
But it's obvious when you listen, which is probably why I like it. You can tell the culture is good. Because people can sense it.
I've worked on a show before where we didn't get along as hosts, and when we would go to the song, we would all just sit there on our phones and not talk to each other.
I've been in a team like that.
And then the song would finish, and you'd put your mics on and be like, "Oh, Stace, what did you get up to on the weekend?" And looking back, I'm just like, "Why? Why did you do it? Why did we do it?"
I think you'd be surprised how many teams are like that, but I also think now it's changing a little bit more.
Oh, totally.
I feel like it used to be, okay, well, you're famous and you're famous, and we'll put you two together, and you're not necessarily going to have anything in common. Where now I feel like they're breaking that a little bit.
Also, I don't know, as I've gotten a bit older, I'm just like, I don't want to waste
you're not
my
do
time doing that.
No.
But
Like, I've got to pay the mortgage
successful.
and stuff, but shit, I don't want to live like that.
Well, going to work, and also in this environment, you make yourself so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And you've got to know somebody's got your back. And if you do not feel safe,
Yeah.
then it's disastrous.
Yeah, no, we're extremely lucky with our team. And everyone's very good at their job. Everyone hangs out separately. Like I mentioned partners before. If we go out, everyone's partners are invited. Because I'm big on, if your partners know your work friends, it's much less of an issue if you're traveling, working late. Like everyone just, everyone knows. Partners will catch up separately without any of us as well.
Yeah, right. So you've created that culture though.
We were lucky that we could bring a couple of our team over from New Zealand.
Because that's where you guys started. Can you tell me, so because you to me were Labrat.
Hot 30 days.
Hot 30 days with Kyle and Jackie O. Remember, Stace?
Doing
And
stuff.
you know who else?
Stace is like, no, I hate a commercial radio. Monty, I never listen.
She, so you were Labrat, Labby.
Yeah, so I was, quick snapshot, I was 18, finished school, got work experience at Triple M Brisbane, Kyle Sandilands came along, started working with him.
Was he at Brizzy originally?
Yeah, he was at Brizzy.
Straight off the streets,
came
the
down
homeless
from Townsville.
kid?
Down from Townsville.
Right.
Decked out like he walked out of the Colorado catalogue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hilarious. I love it.
And then he moved to Sydney to work with Jackie O, and I was 18, 19. He said, come with me, and I lived with him for 2 years.
You lived with him?
Yeah, and he would never leave the house. Like, because he's like, he's just such an insular person. And I remember all my friends, like they're 18, 19, they're partying in Brisbane. Yeah. I'm in Sydney living with Kyle, and every now and then he'd be like, I'm out of ciggies, or let's go to the video shop. And I'd be like, I'm putting on my best shirt. I'm fucking leaving the house. We're leaving the house.
Shit.
Really?
Yeah, and it'd be Saturday, and I'd be down to Blockbuster, even if it was for a half an hour, but I'd be ironing a collared shirt, and I'd be like...
shit, mate. That is so funny.
And did stunts with them, and then, just started.
Do you remember, it was Mama Jugs on that team
Yeah, Mama. Yeah.
What's Mama doing now?
Mama went into PR for a little bit. There was a guy called Donkey Schlong. So anyway, moved around the country, earned my stripes, and then started doing breakfast radio in Brisbane, and then moved to New Zealand, and that's where I met Peach.
Right.
And when they offered us the gig back here, straight away we were just like, we're not moving back unless we bring
all our team.
Yeah. That's and at that point we only had a team of 4, so it made things easier.
Still.
Yeah.
And then because people have such hardcore listening habits. Like once you make you listen to your show, you're so loyal to that show, really.
Yep.
Because you get so used to them. So anytime there is any form of change, people fucking hate it.
Yep.
So you guys have come into, but I guess there was quite a few changes at that time, wasn't there?
Yeah, like they were changing a couple of the shows. Hughesy and Kate were leaving. They were going over to Hit. Matt and Michelle were doing the show here. They were moving on. But it was cool. When we were leaving New Zealand, we're all on the same flight. Everyone's families came to the airport. Like we've got a photo of it. It looked like we're all going on Katiki tour. It was cool. So it's such a cool little family vibe.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And because there was so much change going on at KISS when we got here, it wasn't like we were the outsiders. Like there was so much change, we were just part of it.
You've definitely changed the culture in this building.
Thank you.
Like I kid you not, because where I come in, our team's so small that I literally just go from reception straight into the studio. Where now I'll sometimes actively walk around. I'm not a social person, so I can see you guys.
Well, when we first visited, I couldn't believe, because the studio's on one side of the building, and then there's a room outside the studio we call the airlock or the phone room, where all the producers sit. There used to only be one way into that, which was this dark little hallway. And when we came here, we're like, how does anybody working in the building see the studio? And they're like, oh, they don't. And we were like, but it's a fucking radio station. Like no one could. So we requested this back wall to be punched out and the stairs put in.
Yes. So you guys did that.
They didn't get it. They were like, oh yeah, we could do that down the track. We're like, no, like it's such an important thing.
Totally.
Punch that wall out, and now when you walk into the building, you can see into the studio. And
well, it opens it up, so it's not just okay. You do this, you do this. It's just.
And our first week we were here, sales would walk past and be like, can we come up the stairs? And we'd be like, yes, like come on.
Yeah, please do.
If we're having a shit day or we're busy, we'll just say piss off, come back later. But
the best thing that you have done so far, or the thing that really reeled me in, which I obviously was, you know what I'm going to say, aren't you?
No, I'm not sure.
Was the 24-hour...
57.
No, sorry, 57 hours straight.
How dare you have
of broadcasting.
That was it. You were addicted.
Yeah, I was so addicted.
She was so addicted. You were talking about this morning, weren't you? Because it started in New Zealand.
Oh my God. So you guys, you and PJ went straight for 57 hours.
Yeah. We started Wednesday 6 a.m. and then stayed on the air till Friday 2 p.m.
It grabbed so many people.
It did.
Yeah,
because
cool.
You guys were live streaming on Facebook, and I would get embarrassed because as soon as you click on it, it would say, so you can tell who's watching, and I'm like, shit, I haven't fucking moved for like 30 hours.
Go and feed your kids, mate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Totally. And Mel, who works with us, we would just text each other, and then I'd be like, I'd text you and you'd read it out, and we'd be like, it was so addictive.
But it came about as a bit of a mistake. We first did it in New Zealand. And we did 51 hours because it just, the way it worked out, we're doing a drive show over there. So from the start of 3 p.m. Friday to 3 p.m. Wednesday to 6 p.m. Friday was 51 hours. So we're like, cool, we'll do it as 51 hours. And we're like, all right, let's live stream it. This will be great. And then I reckon 3 minutes before we're about to go live for the very first time, someone goes, oh, we can't play the songs on the live stream because Facebook will bring it down because of copyright. So that's when we went, shit, we're going to have to leave the mics open. That was never the original plan. We were like, we're going to have to leave the mics open for for 51 hours for people to hear everything. Otherwise, Facebook are going to take down the live stream.
Shit.
So we made that decision with about 90 seconds to go before we started it. So we raced around to everyone was like, guys, the mics are not turning off for the next 51 hours.
Sit in silence.
No, we spoke. We just spoke about everything.
Over
But
the
it's
music,
also-
though? You couldn't speak when the music was on, right?
No.
We couldn't play any of the music in the room. If any of the music went to the Facebook stream, they'd pull it down. So we're still playing songs on the radio.
Right.
But when we play the song,
Yeah.
if you're watching the live stream, you just hear everything off the air then.
Which is so risky.
So, because you'd have a guest on at 40 hours, and if they were a shit guest, you'd be like, thanks for coming on, Stacey. Go and check out Show and Tell. And then you'd go to the song and you'd leave the room and be like, all right, last time we have Stacey on.
Yeah.
like, when normally people don't hear that bit. And at 40 hours in, you forget.
You've lost it.
You don't
Totally.
care.
Well, you don't even, not even in, however many hours. In 1 hour, I was like to our team, we would be so fucked.
Oh, yeah.
No one would listen to us again. Because but you do realise, wow, the amount of things you say that you really don't want other people to hear.
Yeah.
You know?
And sometimes you're just saying it because it's funny. It's not even true.
No.
Oh, yeah, just
You
for
know?
shock value. And you
Yeah.
go, God, that sounds like such an asshole. Hey, I was saying, we've got 7 boys between the 3 of us, you, Stacey and I. Gross.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It
a
is
lot.
It's a
so
lot of willies.
hardcore, isn't it? Do your boys have foreskins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Took me a minute then. Yeah, one of them got his stuck the other day.
Oh, shit.
So he walked out and he'd obviously pulled it back and he's like, Dad, this is the really, really young one. He's like, Dad, my willy's stuck. And I'm like, oh, you're right, mate. Just like, pull it back. And he was freaking out. He's like, don't touch it. I'm like, I'm not going to touch it. And Luke was like, she's like, this is out of my area.
Totally.
And she's like, babe, you got to do something. I'm like, it'll be fine. So we just left it for the day. And then that afternoon, Lou's like Googling going, no, like.
So it was still held back.
We're still held back.
Right.
And
Is
as
that the first time?
Yeah, and as the
Okay.
day's gone on, like it was red, but I don't think it was swollen or anything. And then it got to bath time, and I'm like, we got to fix it. Like I don't want to take him to a doctor or anything. And Lou was out, and I'm negotiating with him. He's standing in the bath. I'm standing next to him in the bathroom, and I'm like, buddy, you just got to pull it back. And he's like, no. And I thought, fuck. All right, Daddy's going to do it, and then you follow. You follow.
So
what
you
Daddy-
did an instruction, an instructional
Yeah,
video.
but I didn't hear Lou come in. So Lou walks down the hallway
This is fantastic.
and walks into the bathroom, and I've got my pants down. I'm like, just pull it over the end. Pull it over the end. And he's in the bath pulling. I shit you not. This is not a bit.
God.
And he's pulling. And then I'm like, hey! And he's
And he
cheering.
did it.
And then we look up, and he's like, Mommy, my willy. And that's when I turned around. I'm like, hey, Bab. She's like, hey, Dab.
That was clever, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh, my God.
Don't you sometimes find yourself, you just get a snippet of what your life is now? Like sometimes
That's
I'll
one of
just
them.
hear myself or I'll hear Sam say things like, hello, stop sniffing your fingers. Just random shit like that. We're like, oh my God.
We have the exact same conversation at our place about possibly having a third. And
Yeah,
then it's
you
like,
still thinking about it?
yeah, like, I don't know. I'm one of those people where I'm like, especially in this industry, I want a bit of security.
Yes.
I want to make sure I can give the 2 boys I've got a decent life rather than bringing a third, adding stress, financial stress as well as mental stress. I don't know. I'm just one of those people that I like to be in control.
Yes.
So I'm not saying no to it. We're just saying never say never.
Yeah, we're like that too. But we're getting older. Like,
I know,
I'm just like,
I know.
wow, I can't believe we had all of this time where it was like, yeah, we can have got. Now I'm like, I would be lucky to have one half shriveled egg in there that is maybe viable now. It's just like, use me. I'm like, fuck, I can't believe we're at the
get
end.
a good doctor and play Marco fucking Polo and find that thing and get it
I
out.
know. See, that's what I don't know if I want it that much to go down that route.
Yeah, but if you did, though, it takes away the pressure of making the decision now.
Yeah, but mate, I'm close. Wait, how old are you?
38.
You're 39.
No, I'm 39 this year, but on the show I've been
Same,
36 for the last 4 years.
Have you?
How you don't age on the show.
Closer to the demo, guys. Closer to the demo. I don't want to be shipped over to Smooth just yet.
Oh, that is so
That's why you do what I do. I get an extremely young co-host and surround myself in a team of under
They're
25.
so young.
Yes.
I can't
I
believe.
know.
And then Jase will end up having to get bloody eyebrow rings and all this crazy shit.
The sad bit is I'm the one that outlasts them when we go out for the night.
Are you?
And then Lou's
Because
like,
you're out of the house with no kids.
that's it. And the problem is, though, what do? They can stay in bed till 2 p.m. on the
Of
Saturday.
No,
course.
you've got to get up with the
Of
kids.
course.
It's not worth it.
Yep.
I was saying to Stace, because when I was like, we got Jase coming on and and again, Stacey's like, oh, I love him. I
Thanks,
love
Stace.
him. And then
I do,
starts
mate.
podcasting other podcasts that you've been on to learn about you. And she's like, oh, he's such a great guy, isn't he? I really
It's all
like
up
him. Well, it's not, because I said to
not.
Stace, when my mum was just about to pass and I walked into the building and it just would hit me in waves. I'm going to get emotional now. But I walked in and the first person I saw was you, and you're like, you all right, mate? And I just lost it. It just came out of nowhere. And you pulled me in a side room and I said to Stacey, you just held the space for me to be upset.
I don't think you have to say anything sometimes. I just think you just give someone a
be
hug.
there.
But so people are so uncomfortable in those situations because it is uncomfortable. Like
I'm
you
a
and I
hugger.
know each other, but not hugely well. But you just sat there with me until I composed myself and let me cry. And I was just like, it's a gift that you give people when you do things like that. Like it's something I won't forget because it was such a fucking hard time, and it still is.
I'm glad it was. Look, it was only a small thing from me, but I'm glad it just helped in that moment.
Totally.
It's such an important thing to teach kids, though. You're probably taught that. Like I remember being taught that.
I grew up with 3 older sisters, so I grew up. I'm quite a metro guy, and I love that. I love that. I'm not, footy nut.
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
just not me,
Yeah.
and I'm not attracted to that.
I think growing up with Sam, my partner grew up with 3 sisters as well, and I think that is why. Like I'm often like, he's a stronger feminist than I am, and you know what I mean. Like I think growing up with sisters, like you obviously has taught you.
Well, even though we've got 2 boys, the house is very chilled, and
Is it really chilled?
Well, I'm trying to counteract the 2 bloody meatheads I've got at home.
Yeah.
Ours is a bit the same. Mine's a bit the same.
Yeah. You know what was, just quickly, you have to laugh, but that day when I gave you a hug in the hallway, the production door was open and Veggie Boy, who works on our show,
He's called Veggie Boy purely because he doesn't eat any veggies.
But he didn't hear the start when you told me that you were just having a shit day. So he just thought I'd upset you. And afterwards he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I didn't do anything. And he's like, sure, and just shut his door. And I'm like, all right.
Do you know that happens every time Sam and I go out for dinner because you get into, good, deeper conversations. I'll end up crying. And he's like, oh.
Now he looks bad.
And he said, it looks like I'm breaking up with you. Every time we go out, you cry. But now I look at him and I go, just let me cry. Let me cry.
Don't go back to the same restaurants. Everyone will be like, what the fuck is she still doing with him? This is the 8th time he's broken her heart.
Oh, it's so good. Hey, Jase, we've got to get out of here. Someone needs the studio. Thank you for joining
Jase.
on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
I mentioned
haven't done
earlier,
many
my
of these.
wife was the one that got me into show and tell. We've always been massive fans of
I
you guys and
love
what you
it.
guys have done for the last few years. So I'm up for this anytime.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jase.
Make sure you listen into Jase and PJ 6 to 9
Please
on
don't tune in
Melbourne.
at 9. You'll get the end.
Yeah, you can podcast you guys as well,
Yeah.
though. Just go. You got to download the iHeartRadio app to listen, don't you?
Yeah.
Can you just go to iTunes to hear our Kiss FM podcast?
Technically, but iTunes isn't paying our bills, so I would strongly suggest going through the iHeartRadio
There
app.
you go.
Okay.
You'll
There we
find us
go.
all there. Thank you.
Thanks, Jase.
Bye.